With Mike Shanahan now being woven back into the Denver Broncos team fabric, we're learning that the team's all-time winningest former head coach has his fingerprints on the current iteration of the squad. Following the Vic Fangio hire, GM John Elway set about the process of combing the NFL for an offensive coordinator, one who the Broncos brass could be confident would not only be able to design and deploy an effective scheme, but also turn the ship around with regard to the development of the team's young quarterback talent. Elway and Fangio zeroed in on Rich Scangarello, who at the time was the quarterbacks coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Scangarello helped Jimmy Garoppolo get up to speed quickly 2 years prior following his trade from New England, as well as finding and developing the undrafted Nick Mullins, who started 8 games for the Niners in 2018 in place of the injured Jimmy G. The Broncos liked Scangarello, but were initially shut down by Kyle Shanahan and the Niners in their request for an interview. That's where Mike Shanahan enters the equation. Not only is Mike the father of Kyle Shanahan, he's also the progenitor of the scheme the Niners operate, and ostensibly the same system Scangarello would employ were he hired in Denver. Elway and Fangio sought Mike Shanahan's opinion and likely his influence with Kyle with regard to Scangarello. We learned this on Saturday. Following the Broncos' joint practice sessions with the Niners, Elway said, quote, "I talked to Mike about Rich and what he thought about Rich. I had a chance to sit. We went through an 8-hour interview with Rich and really liked what he was. Obviously, Mike gave me some input. It was also hard to get him out of San Francisco because of how much they liked him and respected him as a coach. We are fortunate that they allowed us to talk to him." Close quote. The Niners eventually relented and allowed Scangarello to interview with Denver, and he was offered the job. Fast forward to today, the Broncos are in the process of implementing his offensive vision, one Elway himself is intimately familiar with. Elway said, quote, "I think that the amount of people that have become head coaches that run this system, it kind of started with Bill Walsh back then when he was with the 49ers. But what they've really done is they've continued to advance the offense for the game today. I think Mike has been a big part of that. Obviously, Kyle has been tremendous for that and has taken it to the next level. That is why we are thrilled to have Rich Scangarello as our offensive coordinator. It's a system that I played in, believe in, and know that you could win with it. It's much more advanced even now than when I played in it. And that goes to show what an impact Mike has had on the game as well as Kyle." Close quote. For his part, Mike Shanahan opened up on his view of Scangarello. Shanahan said, quote, "I could talk about Scangarello because it's easy for me to talk about him. I know him. I've been around him. I really like him. I like him as a guy. I like him as a football coach." Close quote. The Broncos offense is poised to take a massive leap forward in 2019 if things come together for Rich Scangarello and QB transplant Joe Flacco. Meanwhile, it's good to know the Broncos have a resource like Mike Shanahan waiting in the wings in case things go sideways. For Mile High Huddle and the Maven, I'm Chad Jensen.